Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we are back with another match preview today for the Manchester United versus Everton game. So before we get into the preview, of course, we do have a watch long. That'll be tomorrow. Stream will start at 6:30 with kickoff at 7 o'clock. So be there or be squared. Moving on into the preview though, Manchester United currently sit 7th in the Premier League table. Of course, we did lose our last game to Manchester City 6-3 in a game which, kind of the less said about that, the better. I think it's fair to say. Yeah, we were just awful, weren't we? There's no positive to it, I think is the only thing you can say. There is no positives. Martial scoring, if you had to name something, Martial was good. But we have to deal with it. We have to move on. Like I said, we come in to the game in 7th place. Everton, who is our opposition for today, come in 11th. And in a very, very good vein of form. I believe they're unbeaten in their last 6 games, which is obviously fantastic for Everton. And a lot higher than they expected to be doing probably this season. And 11th is about where they they'll be happy with 11th come the end of the season, especially given the horror show they had under Rafa Benitez and obviously so close to getting relegated. Now, of course, Manchester United did play in the Europa League on Thursday against Omonia. Obviously a Cyprian team. And we did beat them 3-2. One of the most convincing of performances from Manchester United, and a game which, I mean, if it wasn't already confirmed to me that Cristiano Ronaldo is a bit mudded. He's a bit finished, but it is what it is, I suppose. And hold on, there we go. I don't know if you heard that. Turn that off. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, so it wasn't a good performance at all against Omonia, but we got the 3 points, which is what we needed, and we kind of have to move on from that. And look, I want to talk about this man right here, Anthony Martial. So often last season and seasons gone by, he has been kind of scapegoated and he's been slated by the media and fan base alike. However, I think he's proven right now, in the Manchester derby when he came on and scored twice. He came on at number 10 against Ammonia in the second half, and in both games he was great. And he's really showing what I've said about Anthony Martial for so long. He's a fantastic player who needs to be used, because hold-up play is fantastic. He can link play in that front line better than anyone. He is an unbelievable player. And if you get the best out of Martial, you back Martial, Manchester United are a better team for it. And I think we're seeing that, like I said, in performances and in a game like Ammonia. Without Martial, who knows what that game could have been. Because he comes on at 1-0, is it? And scores the second goal with what I believe was his 3rd touch. The guy's unbelievable. And you get him playing, you get him consistently playing, and look, this is what, his 3rd game of the season. Like, you get him not just a run of games, but he's going to get better and better in those run of games. Think about how good he can be. Like, I don't even think Martial is at his best. I think he can still go up another level. And I think I rate him that highly, and I think he is that good. And as such, I think he is such a key player for us this season. If we are going to kind of compete for that top 4 places, which I believe Manchester United should be. And I mean, if you look at the Premier League, a win today obviously takes us, puts us on 15 points, puts us 5th, a point outside the top 4. That would be absolutely fantastic if we can do that. So of course that's the mission coming to this game. But look, let's not write off Everton. Everton are a good side. However, they have got some injury problems. Ben Godfrey, Yerry Mina, Mason Holgate, 3 centre-backs, all out injured. Ben Godfrey is out with a fractured fibula. Yerry Mina and Nathan Patterson, the right back, is out with ankle injuries, while Mason Holgate has got a knee injury, while striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin has got a groin problem. So what we're probably going to end up seeing from Everton is, well, it will almost certainly be the 4-3-3. They've been playing that a lot recently, and since this fantastic run of theirs has kind of started, it has been a 4-3-3 most often. Jordan Pickford is back, of course, and as such, he will be in goal. The back four will be not Mason Holgate, will be Seamus Coleman, will be the centre-back partnership of James Tarkowski and Connor Cody, who have looked absolutely fantastic, to be fair to the two. And it's just a great piece of business, I guess, from Frank Lampard and Everton to get these two through the door, both on a free. Obviously, Connor Cody is currently a loan, but I believe they have got an option to buy for pretty good value. I think it was like 6-7 million, if I can remember correctly. So that's a fantastic centre-back partnership for very, very cheap. Then it will be Myelenko at left-back. A midfield three of Idrissa Gana Gueye, Onana, and then who I've got as their key player, Alex Iwobi. I think Alex Iwobi is fantastic. He's moved. Look, when he was at Arsenal, I said it at the time. I always thought Alex Iwobi was more of a number 10. And I thought, if you've got a problem with Mesut Ozil playing at number 10, as Unai Emery did, I always thought Iwobi is that guy to kind of fill into that gap and play well. And unfortunately, there might be clips on this YouTube channel from years ago where I might have said that, but I can't remember how often I would have said that on this channel, because obviously when I made this channel he'd already moved to Everton. But I remember specifically watching the Europa League final between Chelsea and Everton, and Iwobi actually scored. Chelsea and Arsenal, and I remember Iwobi did score a screamer for Arsenal, and I said he would be the solution to that number 10 problem. Obviously, they sold him for big money, and he played on the wing under Carlo Ancelotti and Marco Silva and Rafa Benitez, really, when he played. However, Frank Lampard has come in and has made a fantastic midfield of Idrissa Gana Gueye, Onana and Iwobi. And I think he was a massive part in them staying up last year with his creativity from midfield, his dribbling ability. And I think one of the reasons that they're doing so well, again, is Iwobi. And then you look at their front line, it will be, I'm almost certain it will be Gray, Gray, Malpai and Anthony Gordon as a front three. We could see McNeil start. I do think McNeil, from a defensive standpoint, might be a better option. However, I do think Everton, look, they're going to be trying to play on the counter-attack in this game. Despite the fact that they are the home team, I think they will probably try and play on the counter-attack. And as such, the pace of Gordon and kind of the directness of Gordon and the pace of Gray will be massive for them when trying to counter from a defensive low block. And as such, I think they'll probably go with that sort of front three of Malpai, Gray and Gordon. When it comes to Manchester United, we have got some injury doubts for ourselves. Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire are definitely out. Donny van der Beek is looking likely to be out, but not 100%. And Raphael Varane is about 50-50 whether or not he will be available after he sustained that ankle injury against Manchester City in the Manchester Derby. Of course, seeing him miss out on the Ammonia game midweek. With that all in mind, what team do I imagine Erik ten Hag will go with today? Well, I think he's going to go with this. I do think he brings in Raphael Varane. I think he risks Raphael Varane. And I do just generally think he probably goes with the same back four that he's been with most of the season. I think he's settled with that back four for now, and I think he's happy with it. I think Casemiro and Eriksen plays in that double pivot. I think Eriksen has to play. That's been the role Eriksen's played all season, so I don't see why that changes, or why that would change in this game, especially given the fact that it played against Liverpool, it played against Arsenal, it played against Manchester City. So why, if he trusts it in those sort of huge games, in a game which, no disrespect to Everton, because they are in good form and they are really playing well, they're not comparable to the likes of Everton, Liverpool, and Manchester City. So if you can trust Eriksen to play that deeper role in those games, you should be able to in this sort of game. And alongside Casemiro, who I don't think he's at his best yet. I think he's slowly but surely getting there though. And eventually, when he does start playing, I mean, I don't think he's even close to his best really at the moment. So when you do get him at his best, how good can this guy be? I think it's really exciting, really. And then a front four, I think Jadon Sancho has to miss out. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, like I said, in the aftermath of the Ammonia game, I think he's finished really. So he has to drop out, which means you get this front four of Anthony on the right. I think he played well against Ammonia, more or less. I thought, look, he got a goal against Man City. He wasn't amazing against Man City, but he's getting there. He's getting better and better. And I want to see more of Anthony. To be fair, he's scoring goals as well. So even if he isn't playing well, Sancho's not at his best at the moment. So you want to get players who maybe if their performances aren't there, they're still getting the output, and that's what Anthony's doing at the moment. Bruno Fernandes, he's not going to get dropped, and then we have no one really else to play that number 10 role unless you move Christian Eriksen a bit more advanced, which, like I've already said, I don't see happening. And then up top, we've got, well, on the left, sorry, I should say first, we've got Marcus Rashford. He did well when he came on off the bench against Ammonia. Generally, he's had a good season when he's played off the left, and even when he's played down the centre, to be fair to the lad. So I do think Marcus Rashford starts on the left. And Anthony Martial, look, I said it a little bit earlier on in this preview. Anthony Martial has to play. The difference he made when he came on against Man City, yes, it was a weakened Man City at that point, but he made a difference. He was fantastic when he came on. Ammonia, the same. Anthony Martial has to play, and I think Erik ten Hag does go with him. Personally, this is the team I would go for. I wouldn't risk Raphael Varane. I think we've got bigger games to come. We've got a lot of games still until the World Cup. Why risk Varane back? I think Lindelof is a fine centre-back, and as such, I would go for Raphael Varane on the bench and Victor Lindelof starting alongside Alessandro Martinez, Diego Dalot, and Luke Shaw. Now, Tyrell Malacia has had generally a good season. However, Manchester City, I don't think he was great. Ammonia, he wasn't great. And when Luke Shaw did come on in those games, I thought he played well. And as such, I want Luke Shaw to start in this game. Hello, Nico. How are we, mate? Good luck to you too. I think it's a really good game. I think it will be a really, really good game. And to be fair, I mean, apart from for that back four, that's when the changes and the differences between me and Erik ten Hag's team stops. I think Casemiro and Eriksen are the right two to go in midfield. The only thing I would say is maybe do you take Bruno Fernandes out? Maybe you put a McTominay in there. Maybe I would even consider maybe putting a Jadon Sancho in at number 10. I think these are all kind of ideas that could work. And given that Martial was brought on at number 10 against Ammonia, suggests to me Erik ten Hag is willing to experiment with that number 10 role, and I think Jadon Sancho could play there really, really well. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about Conor Cody and James Tarkowski earlier when we was talking about Everton's team news. And look, like I said at the time, I said it earlier. I think Everton's back four are really strong. I have to be honest. I really, really do. And I think, like you said, the best defense in the league. Technically, I think you've not conceded many goals. You're hard to beat now. It's gonna be a really good game. It's gonna be a really interesting game. And in the past, Manchester United have struggled at Goodison Park. We lost to them last. We lost there last season. We might have lost there the season before that as well. So it's not an easy place to go by any means. We've always struggled there, which makes this game even more exciting. To be fair, Everton will be a good watch. They'll be a good watch. Maybe not for the neutral, because like I said, I do think Everton will. Look, obviously, they'll be happy for a draw. They'll be happy to get anything from this sort of game, where Manchester United will have to try and win it, which is where I think this game can become a real classic, with Manchester United looking to try and dominate and take control of the game, with Everton playing on the counter-attack with the likes of Gordon, who is obviously on the thumbnail for the watch-along. You've got Gray, who's got such pace and has scored many screamer against Manchester United, whether that's for Leicester or for Everton. So I think Everton do bring a danger. I don't think they're going to be a walkover whatsoever. But that being said, I do think Manchester United win the game. I do back us. I think we've got a lot of players in form or coming into form, like Marcus Rashford, like Anthony Martial. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but I do think we win it. I do think we win it 2-0. Which sounds like it's going to be more convincing than I think it probably will be. We will win. That's my opinion. I mean, for those in the live chat, please do get your predictions into the chat. I mean, what's your score prediction then, Nico? Like I said, I've gone 2-0 Manchester United. I think United will win it. I don't think we'll win it entirely convincingly. I don't think 2-0. When I say 2-0, I don't mean as if it'll be domination. I think we'll get a goal. Everton will start playing. We'll kind of come out the traps a little bit more, and then we'll probably hit you on the counter attack fairly late on for a second. You're going 3-2 Everton with a Connor Cody last minute winner. It is on BT Sports. You are correct. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated, and it does mean a lot. It's a weird game. It's a weird time for a kickoff, isn't it? 7 p.m. on a Sunday. Like, we never get 7 p.m. Sundays. So I'm really, really confused by what the game. Dortmund last minute goal today was crazy. What was the final score in that game then? It's 2-2. 2-2 Modeste last minute. I saw it was. What's it called? I saw it was 2-0 Bayern. I tell you what, they're not doing great, Bayern Dortmund, are they, in the Bundesliga, really? Union Berlin are doing bloody well. Played a game less than Bayern and Dortmund and are top of the league. But look, I don't really have loads more to say about Everton or just kind of this game in general. I think it's a game that, like I said, the way Jordan Pickford has been linked to United, I haven't seen any links, and I don't think Jordan Pickford joins Man United. I think there's better goalkeepers in the market than Jordan Pickford, and that's coming from someone who I think Jordan Pickford's a good goalkeeper. I'm not the type of guy that hates Jordan Pickford. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I just think there's better out there, personally. But yeah, that's going to be it from me today. I think I've just about covered everything about this game. Like I said, there is going to be a watch along. Details are on my side. Stream starts at 6:30 with kickoff being at 7. So please do tune in for that. If you are new and you haven't already, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. And hit the notification bell. So even if you do forget when the stream goes live, you will be notified. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.